responsible for a lot of excesses.
Mr. Shiresi, I'm sorry, I do have to just interrupt you there. We have to cross over to Sochi very quickly to listen to the press conference between President Putin of Russia and President Erdogan of Turkey. Let's just listen in quickly.
So that we make our situation with the energy sector in the region more stable, and I think there will be a positive dynamic as well. I already mentioned agricultural area. We need to expand the number of goods that you supply to Russian market, and we are talking about a very good volume. And also, with regards to metal industry, we have very good positive perspectives. I already mentioned energy. We are very confident in developing this direction. We agreed with the main suppliers and consumers on both sides, and I hope that this will continue, this trend will continue in the nearest future. The building of a nuclear power station with Turkey is going on. Turkey now is the member of the International Club of Nuclear Countries after the supply of the first batch of Russian nuclear fuel. And next year, if everything goes as planned, we will launch the first block. And there are interesting variants how we can develop our collaboration. There is a qualified team, 25,000 people working on this. We have topics to discuss, especially how to ensure safety in the region. And of course, we will pay attention to the question with regards to the Ukrainian crisis. I know that we want to discuss grain deal, and there will be negotiations to this effect. Of course, we have done a lot for the situation in Syria, and I know how sensitive topic this is for Turkish Republic. And the main topic that was in this format, we need to enforce this area, and also in the other regions. But I mean Libya track as well. There are many bilateral topics and international themes that we will be discussing today. Thank you very much that you have come to visit us, and we will have a very good meeting.
Sayın Başkan, öncelikle bu davetle Türkiye-Rusya ilişkilerinde çok farklı.
There, Vladimir Putin of Russia welcoming his Turkish counterpart, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who's also now speaking, really, President Putin talking about the fact of his nuclear ambitions, certainly in selling domestic nuclear fuel, but also saying that wanted to talk about the grain deal, which he knew was top of the agenda, and that they hope there could be some sort of resolution, and also the Syrian conflict and whether some resolution could actually be achieved here. Of course, President Erdogan and Turkey are a member of NATO, perhaps the only country that can really speak to Russia, wearing those two hats at the moment, both with an ear to the concerns of the Western alliance and also listening to the concerns of what is actually a close ally in terms of Russia over the years. They've had very close dealings. They are neighbours across the Black Sea, but also have very close working relationships through their regional neighbours, whether it be Azerbaijan or Armenia or Georgia, Romania, and therefore very important that they are actually able to talk. I think we can now listen to what President Erdogan has to say through a translator.
The local currency in between us, and developments in Akkuyu nuclear power plant are ongoing very well, as you expressed. It is an important thing that we have many employed there. The steps taken are very pleasing. As talked about before, it is also possible for us to take another step forward as regards Sinop plant. The fact that there will be a hub in Trace will be, in and out of itself, another richness and a source of activity. Another important thing in between Turkey and Russia is related with tourism. And in tourism, Russia comes first in Turkey. And together with these all, another important step is to do with our visit today, and everyone is following the grain corridor issue, and everyone is expecting to see what will come out as regards the grain corridor today. And I believe following the meetings we shall have today, we will give a message to the world, especially for underdeveloped African countries. The step we shall take will be very important. Another important thing for us is to do with defense industry. Possible steps we have already taken and will take in the field of energy, especially in terms of natural gas. We, with Russia, have been engaged in a very important relationship, and I believe that this will continue.
Gerçekten çok ciddi derdimize derman oldunuz. Tabii
There, President Erdogan, of course, talking about what he hopes that can come out of this meeting that he's now holding with President Putin of Russia in the coastal city of Sochi, talking about, obviously, their mutual understanding of construction projects, mainly nuclear plants and supply of nuclear and civilian fuel. Tourism, obviously, up on the agenda for him. But he said that, you know, the world wants an answer, and they need to send the world a message regarding the Ukraine corridor, which, of course, he means about the grain deal that everybody is waiting to hear. And, of course, the fact that Russia has pulled out of that deal, perhaps he's hoping that he can try and convince the Russian president to get back into that deal, because obviously it's developing. The African countries also need that help, and that they want to take on the subjects of defence, which both countries are very highly strong about at the moment, with what's going on respectively, and also their joint projects in terms of natural gas, an important relationship as he describes it. Let's listen to what President Putin has to say. Well, we can't quite hear what President Putin is saying through our translator at the moment, but I think it's general pleasantries now, and a little bit of understanding of what the details, the agenda of this meeting are going to be. And it seems that that press conference has finished via Russian television. You are watching Al Jazeera.